Welcome to Chesapeake Today Show. It's your Executive Director, David Loop.
And Candace Montgomery, Director of Life Enrichment.
Candace, we're in August. People are enjoying family vacations,
Yes.
and I think you just came back from one.
I did. I had a nice week off, went to the mountains. We went to Tennessee, Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg area. Had some nice weather, because it's always kind of touch and go when you go to the mountains a little bit. You don't know what to expect. Not quite as hot as here, though, which was nice. Not as much humidity, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. I forget how much I enjoy the mountains, you know, when you're driving and you finally see, I mean, it's a 7.5-hour drive, which in and of itself, taking Clint on that long of a trip was, are we there yet, is the constant, like, no, maybe if you go to sleep, time will go by a little faster. So that was definitely unique for sure. We went to Dollywood. We did the Dolly Stampede. There's this place called The Island. I don't know if you're familiar with it.
Not.
It's really neat. Paula Deen has a restaurant there. Jimmy Buffett has a resort. They have a theme right now where it's all Jurassic Park. So they have these huge animatronic dinosaurs that are really like the eyes move, mouth move, everything. So those you can kind of, it's just a big island. They have a Ferris wheel, and that's fun. They have nightlife down there as far as live entertainment, kid-friendly things during the day. So we definitely did a lot of different things down there. The whole strip as you're driving into Pigeon Forge is kind of like Vegas. I mean, there's all kinds of crazy buildings for museums, you know, Hollywood Wax Museum, there's putt-putt arcades. Just, I don't think, Marcus and I have been there, but Clint had never been. So his mind was blown of like, where do we even start? You know, driving in when it was nighttime and seeing everything lit up it was fun. It was a good time.
Cool. So did Clint have a favorite, do you think?
So I asked him what his favorite part of the trip was, and it was the hotel pool.
Yeah.
It was the whole, like, all that we did.
I'm going to tell you, that's my memories.
It was like, what?
You know, and I can go back to, again, I just remember growing up, that it was, if we went on a driving trip,
Yeah.
and we were so lucky that Trip Away
Yeah.
somehow guided us to a hotel with a pool.
Yes.
It was it.
I was mind blown that was his favorite. I was like, of all the things we did, that was your favorite thing. And he's like, yeah. And that pool was ice cold too. It was not heated.
Yeah.
So it was certainly not my favorite thing that we did, but that was his favorite thing. So I just found that fascinating of like, wow, I guess we could have just stayed anywhere with a hotel pool and he would have had just as great of a time.
Well, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Everything else, he'll remember though, and you never know. He'll come back and another day, another question, and he'll have some memory, and that's neat.
Oh yeah,
Well,
for sure.
family vacations are important, so really cool.
It was a good
And
time.
did Marcus have anything favorite?
You know, Marcus tolerated a lot of the trip because it was very Candace influenced, I will say. You know, we were at Dollywood, which is like amazing, right? And he's like, I still like Busch Gardens better. It's like, I think we have to divorce now. Like, I'm just not sure if we can go on. But his thing was, Busch Gardens is so beautiful as far as the landscaping and all of that. And where Dollywood is situated in the mountains, you really just don't have that. I mean, it's just thing after thing after thing. And the landscaping isn't what it's known for. So I just found that interesting. But I think his favorite thing was probably the island, just because it was so different. And they have nighttime entertainment. I mean, they've got the Moonshine Distillery down there where you can do sampling. Jimmy Buffett, like that whole experience there. We did Paula Deen's restaurant. And a lot of the things down there are family style. So you order and you just order things for the table and you all share. So that's kind of different. It's just different, unique things. And we checked out a Buc-ee's. You know about Buc-ee's?
Yeah.
We'd never been to a Buc-ee's.
I think I've been to one now.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
a pretty big place. So now, describe what is Buc-ee's, because it's phenomenal.
So Buc-ee's is like a Wawa, but exaggerated. So you walk in, and we truthfully didn't know what to expect because, I mean, you can see there's maybe like this one that was in Sevierville, Tennessee. It was like 50 gas pumps, right? But then you go in and you see whole section is just like clothing. And I mean, they had Buc-ee's bathing suits, like all kinds of crazy things. But I think we were more fascinated with the eatery area where they were actually cutting up brisket. They were doing different things like that. And I mean, I guess when they hit like a certain number of things, they're shouting things out like in a kitchen. I mean, it was just an experience. Marcus got one of the brisket sandwiches and he was like, this was better than Q-Daddy's, which Marcus saying now is like, oh my gosh, like that's serious. Because you could actually see them cutting it and you know that it's fresh. So that was really interesting to me.
So I'm trying to think, where there is one coming to our area. Do you recall where it's coming?
Is it past Williamsburg? Is it like Toano kind of up that way?
And it may be.
I mean,
Boy.
it's massive. It's a whole ordeal.
Because see, I keep on questioning what's going to happen right there by the Williamsburg Newport News Airport.
Yeah.
'Cause that piece of land there may have been talked about. Now the Costco's going a little bit
Costco
further
is
down
moving,
in
yeah,
Jefferson,
you're right.
but
Oh my gosh.
so it's an outing in itself then.
Yes,
so when one
it was.
gets closer to it, may not be a
Oh
mystery,
my
but it could
gosh.
be a place to
That
visit.
would be a place to take residents
Yeah.
because their mind, the banana pudding was good. I had that. But it was just like you have your normal gas station things. But it was just like, I mean, you're just kind of mind blown.
Well, and you think about, and residents and perhaps even when in your early years, and I can think of my own, we used to find those places you'd stop on a family trip. You're
Yeah,
on,
like
you're on
a,
a road trip. Stuckey's was one, and there was
What's the one
there
I
was a
can
number
remember?
of different, and residents will probably go back with me
Oh,
when I
yeah.
used that one. But I met Howard Johnson's used to be the place. It was sort of like the Crackle Barrel of yesteryear.
Yes, that's it. That's the best way to describe
Howard
that.
Johnson was, because they would have these fried clam strips, and that was the thing I remember going there. It's like no
Okay.
other place there. And then now, Crackle Barrel. If I'm out on the road, I always know
Oh,
that's
yeah.
a meal you know what it's
staple.
going to be.
Yeah.
But those places, but you go back in time, and they were pretty small,
Oh, yeah.
and we're now talking about like.
I mean,
Mega.
like a grocery store gas station. I mean,
Yeah.
that's really like it reminded me a little bit of Kroger
Yeah,
inside, to be
yeah.
honest with you.
And the character Bucky is what animal?
It's a beaver,
It's
right?
A beaver, yeah.
And of course, our dog's name is Bucky, so Clint loved that, and he had to get a shirt because it's like, oh, now I have it's a different type of Bucky.
Candace, did you buy your dog a shirt?
No, but they had dog shirts there.
I am shocked.
When I'm telling you,
I
they
am
had
shocked you did buy one.
women's bathing suits with Bucky's face all over it. I was like, this is serious. Like,
Yeah.
I'd always heard how big of a hype it is, but when you go in the store, you're like, oh my gosh, this is like, people are serious about Bucky's.
Yeah. Very
So that
cool.
was unique. It was to
Yeah.
say we did it, it was kind of cool.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Well, great family trip.
Thanks
for
for
sharing.
asking.
Hopefully you all just enjoyed a little bit of
Yeah.
Tennessee and some road and obviously heard something that will soon come to this area.
Yeah.
Very cool.
trip.
Well, I know right after you got back, we had a busy week.
Yeah.
And had casual conversation with residents and appreciate your attendance. Well attended. It was interesting this time how almost each one had a different theme.
Oh, okay.
Moving from dining to maybe housekeeping to laundry, that type of conversation, or into more the grounds.
Okay.
And all good feedback and no surprises. Everything I think we were able to talk through. So that was number one last week. Resident council meeting, always important, and appreciate Jim Lewis's leadership on that. So that was busy. Had a little bit of a soft opening with moving tables and chairs into healthcare dining room. And even though the full food production will probably really kick in more this weekend and next week, Julie and the team just taking their time. But we wanted to first introduce the residents to their beautiful new room.
Yeah.
There's still some artwork and little touches and some signage, but it's doing fine. And now work is happening in the activities room in healthcare. So that's that front. And then we had something else happen in dining.
Iron Chef, I know, which it's amazing how quickly that comes back around, like our annual tradition. And this year, Culinary really, with Kurt stepping into his new role, they wanted to put a different spin on it. So in the past, we've had folks that actually, it's been, you've gone head to head with different folks. We've had other communities come here. We've had different chefs paired up with residents, and there's always voting involved. This year they wanted to take it more like an expo almost, and have two different chefs. So we had KB and we had Corey. Put a different flair of their kind of origin story of some of their favorite foods. And it was quite an experience for residents, both educational, maybe trying some things that they haven't tried before.
Yeah.
So it's exciting, something different.
And with KB, his menu, you want to share a little bit about what it was, because it was
Yeah.
influenced from his African roots.
It is, yeah. So I kind of gave us some copies here. So KB, his appetizer was an African fish pie. So very interesting, and a little bit of history on that. It's often called a fish roll, but it has it's more of a savory pastry. typically filled with spiced sardines or other fish, and are enjoyed as like a convenient snack. So it's
Okay.
interesting. I don't know that I've ever had sardines. Have you?
I have. Do you know they're coming back big time?
Really?
They are. There are people now, a trend of younger people getting into it because sardines is one of the most nutritious fish.
Like a high
Period.
protein?
High protein,
Okay.
etc. And whereas it was like just an old staple, sort of like a Spam and sardines,
Right.
was just like a
That's,
staple.
that's what I equate it to, yeah.
What there's now restaurants and places featuring dozens of types of sardines in different packaging and flavors,
Wow.
and so just watch that one. I'm surprised you didn't know about that.
No.
You're gonna hear, but it's got a roll here.
Interesting, yeah.
So with his and again, do you recall what country from Africa do they come from?
Gambia, if
Gambia.
I'm saying that
Okay,
correctly.
very nice.
Yeah.
So, and Kiba is the son of Abrima,
Right.
and Abrima, who's been our kitchen manager, evening supervisor for
Long
over
time,
20 years.
as long as I can remember.
And the fact that he's had Kiba come and work with, Kiba started out dish room,
That's
and
right.
then we helped grow him. I remember his early days here, and it was snowy, and we got snow on the ground, and I went down and picked him up and brought him work with us.
Oh,
He's like,
wow.
I'm not driving in this
It's
stuff.
like, what is this?
And I said, come on, ride with me. I probably drove him nuts because I'm like, this is
It's
easy.
nothing. Yeah.
Yes, but so
Wow.
I just remember him and
Yeah,
fond
that's
memories of that, the
nice.
early conversations and giving him a ride to work, and now how he's really advancing in the cooking world.
Right.
So that's one. Also, another one of Brima's son, who's now an electrician, worked here for a period of time. So we've had a couple boys here.
Okay, wow.
And then the other contestant last week was none other than Corey.
I know,
And
he's
Corey
got
Ellis in
roots here.
from the cafe, and Corey's sister and mother.
Kristen, yeah.
So Kristen, concierge, and then his mother works in a higher level of care.
Yeah.
So his was all about Jamaica.
Jamaica, yeah.
So
I know. You wanna read
so I'm
his
reading some of his.
appetizer? Yeah.
His appetizer was an ackee and saltfish. So it's a national dish. It's got a lot of history and really goes with the colonial roots of Jamaica, but local spices and a variety of things just in this combination dish. His entree was Jamaican oxtail.
I know, that's different.
So, beloved dish, its roots in ingenuity and enslaved Africans during Jamaica's colonial past. And again, oxtail it's something that I don't think I would regularly order it. And it's something that I wish people would prompt me on certain foods just to try them.
Right, just to be
You get
adventurous
into a
with it.
routine.
Oh, of course.
But it's one that I have had, and it's just can be very tender and wonderful. So
Yeah.
good. And then, no surprise, but his dessert was a Jamaican rum
Yeah,
cake.
that's a classic. You know, that's good.
He's a smart guy.
He's
Just like,
smart.
see,
He's like,
I
wrap it
want it
all
with
up.
the bread pudding with the bourbon sauce.
Right.
I remember Charlene helped me, one of our housekeeping supervisors. Never, her eyes just kept on every time she was putting
Pouring
a little bit
it
more
in.
in for that bourbon sauce. And
Wow.
I bet the rum cake probably equally
Right.
delicious.
And then KB, he also had for his entree was jollof rice. So it's characterized by its colorful reddish color with delicious taste. And then chakri, if I'm saying that correctly.
I think that sounds good enough.
Couscous.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I like that this is something that
Very
is
different.
educational
It was,
too.
and I
you
just think
know?
it's so neat. And again, some of you may say, "Oh, well, we were signed up, but then we were hesitant on the price." There's a lot of food and ingredients here.
Yeah.
This is well beyond any traditional meal. And if residents were really thoughtful and fair, in past we watched people package up an entire second or third meal and take it home with them.
Yeah.
They know they got their money's worth. So even though some of you may backed away, you probably now regret it, having heard so many positive things. But
Yeah.
again, to go out and to spend at
Oh,
Buc-ee's.
good Lord.
I mean, think about this place you were
Oh,
talking
yeah.
about. You talk about that sandwich and the full thing.
Yeah.
You know,
Easily over $30 just
Yeah.
for a sandwich and a dessert. That's it.
we all know Chick-fil-A.
Right.
It's well into $15.
Oh, yeah.
And that's
Oh, my gosh.
so $30 for an incredible menus
not
of
bad.
2 meals. So again, we realize you have to be good stewards of your own money, but just in case any of you were hesitant about it and you felt bad that you thought it was going to be a low price and ended up being 30, there was a lot of ingredients, a lot of effort put into this, cooking and buying the ingredients. So
And I liked what Louise Markello said of just the menu in general, because we had a few people who were like, they're not sure if they would like it, that sort of thing. And she's like, it's a chance to try something new.
Yeah.
Like, when would you
Just
be
like with
given
meat
this
oxtail.
opportunity?
You know, I may say, oh, what's oxtail? Doesn't sound good. It's like when I tell people mincemeat pie.
Right.
Try it.
But they
You
might
never
love
know.
it.
They might.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly. So I like that open-mindedness
yeah.
for sure.
Well, just extraordinarily impressed and proud that we have such talented men that
it's
will
cool.
produce some really cool things. And I just hope we see more of this. This is what to me is just about celebrating where people come from and just experiencing new things and just very, very cool.
Awesome. Yeah. Hopefully we'll see more
So,
of that.
highlights from last week and hopefully some of that reminisces with you.
A lot of good things going on. And this is the last week in August. I don't know how that's possible.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
You know, I used to say, oh, I can't wait till football season's here.
Oh, well.
I'm like, whenever. I don't care.
Yeah.
It's sort of changing with all the vibes of college sports, etc.
Yeah.
But want to enjoy it, so let's enjoy this week. What we got?
I know. So last week here, kind of last week of summer is kind of how I view it. So starting off on Monday, we do have at 2 p.m. This series has been going really well, Learning Scripture Through Song. We'll be in the Chesapeake Room at 2 p.m. This Mr. Johnson has a connection at his church, and this lady has been coming in every month now for the past few months, and they have really been enjoying learning the scripture, memorizing scripture, and putting it to song, and it's been really neat. Residents have really been responding well to this, so it's kind of our test, and we hope to see it continue. Donna has a craft class at 2 p.m. in the Creative Arts Studio. Hand chimes practice at 7 p.m. in the Chesapeake Room. On Tuesday, we've got a trip at 9 a.m. to the Virginia Living Museum. I know that's always a fan favorite, leaving from the Hampton entrance. 7 p.m., we have the Brian Forrest Band here for our birthday bash. So if your birthday month, come out, get your coupon for free ice cream. Even if it's not your birthday, come out and celebrate with others. We always have some good cakes and things like that. On Wednesday, we have regular shopping at 1:30 from the Hampton entrance. German class at 3 p.m. in the Explorer Room. 7 p.m. movie, That Touch of Mink from 1962. On Thursday, it's that time again, we have Town Hall at 2 p.m. We also have Catholic prayer service at 9 a.m. in the Harbor Room. And then on Friday, we're doing our kind of last hurrah for summer is going to be our ice cream bar with residents and team members at 1:30 in the Chesapeake Room. And it's always so funny to me. We have different toppings, like we've had marshmallows, we've had Oreo cookies, and how the residents get so excited for like the silly toppings of like, oh, I want to put that on there and that on there. So it's always like, I feel like they're like a kid when they hop in line to get their ice cream.
And that's Friday at what time?
That's Friday at 1:30.
Okay.
Yep, in Chesapeake Room. 1:30 till 3, I think, is our time. And then on Saturday, I'm really excited about our Reading Railroad. This is our social accountability. So with the DeGood Foundation, which is Dolly Parton's Imagination Library, kids that are in that program from ages 0 to 5 will be able to come, and we have 65 kids that'll be here that Saturday. The neat thing about this is kids that are in this program, the folks that work at the DeGood Foundation never get to interact with them. They're just a name on a shipping label. So this is a unique opportunity for them to come into the community. And if you can kind of picture Christmas at the Chesapeake, there'll be different stations that they can go to. They'll have a passport. We have resident readers of the books that are in the program. And then we have another group of residents who are our conductors, who are kind of helping with us corral the crowds on the different tours down their railroad path. And then we're going to have like a dance party in the Chesapeake Room. We've got some crafts. Everything is a train theme. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. Residents are really excited to kind of give back and have that many kids in the community for a day. So very much looking forward to that.
Very cool.
Yeah.
That's neat. So that'll
Kinda
be a great thing on Saturday.
Rounds out our week, yeah.
Good. Well, it's definitely a busy week, and then next thing you know, we're popping over into Labor Day. And some festivities there, and more to come, and we'll talk about that in time. So very exciting.
Christmas at the Chesapeake is on my to-do list of, schedule those meetings. It's right around the corner.
Yeah, very neat.
Yeah.
So a lot happening there. Just exciting to hear these things, and just the diversity of events, and some new and different things for you all to experience, which is really good.
Yeah.
So that's happening next week. Probably when we're together, we will hopefully give a good little update where we are. We'll do it at Swat Town Hall on the pavilion.
Oh, right, yeah.
And I think we're finally scratching the dirt and getting movement there. And
Exciting.
the two utilities that sort of was hindering our progress, I think, are being addressed and opening up a green light.
Awesome.
So moving on with that, you've done a nice job getting a lot of the things ordered in the building, whatever.
It's taken a lot of
Last week I
shifting
should have
around.
found you because I was the one breaking down the cardboard, moving around, and we got rid of things, tried to get them a little organized.
Sure, yeah.
And it gave me a first hand. I didn't sit in any of them, but I saw the lovely new furniture.
Nice.
I almost wanted to sit down, but you know, people who come up
I
by the
tested it out,
billiards
yeah.
room will sort of see what we
Comfy.
have now.
Yeah.
And but a lot of nice things will be there for that. I know just you and Caitlin are looking at, I think, a couple more pieces of equipment
Yes.
coming for fitness
Yes.
area. So we're into the last third of the year where we're starting to focus on what are the final equipment needs. Heard a lot of compliments from residents about the automatic openers for the trash room.
Yeah.
I haven't used it yet, but we also have an automatic door now in the back Explorer room door.
Ooh.
That
Okay, I know we've
you
been
and I
talking
both,
about
we
that.
need to go try it because I'm told it's
Yeah.
there and I haven't even tried it.
I haven't
So
been
we
in
need to
there
see
this
it.
week,
but
but
that's
yeah.
allowing residents who maybe the
That's
program's
good.
already on and the doors are closed.
Yes.
And you're not comfortable entering it, well, you can go to that back door, not imposed per se on a session that's already started or a movie, but allows you to get in with an automated door and be seated maybe to the back room, wherever you choose to.
Yeah, that can
So-
be hard to navigate doors when you've got a rollator and trying to juggle different things. So that's
So
good.
little things there. I know
Awesome.
Paula's working on some of the fabric choices because we have benches that we want to get placed up in some of the independent hallways, including Hampton.
Okay.
And then more to come next year with artwork and
Yeah.
a lot more
some
there.
different projects and things. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So,
exciting. Exciting time.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate hearing more. I was living it with you when you were talking about your vacation, and just
was
your
so
your
nice.
excitement was wonderful to hear.
And I told you, I was like, that attention to detail with Dollywood was like, man,
And hospitality and
hospitality. It was up there. I was
things
impressed.
we can do.
Yeah,
Very
for
nice.
sure.
Good. Well, hope you've enjoyed this week. Do have a fun interview coming up, so you'll meet one of our own, and so stay tuned for that. But until next time, have a great week.
See ya.
Hello and welcome back to the special part of our weekly meeting and our time together. And today it's talking with one of our own, Donna Yasko, who has been recently promoted to Associate Executive Director. Donna, welcome to the show today.
Hi there.
Well, Donna, you're not a stranger to residents as they've seen you, met you, witnessed your communications through town hall meetings. Why don't you just sort of give a quick update to all the residents, your journey with the Chesapeake. When did you join us and brings us to this point in time today?
So 2019, I joined as the social worker for assisted living, memory care, and independent living. And then I was promoted to Director of Social Services. And then I was promoted to the Assisted Living Administrator a short time ago. And now Associate Executive Director. It has been an exciting 6 years.
Well, and I know in between all of that, a lot of hard work. One with getting your license. Why don't you help the residents understand, as you really before this latest promotion, your assisted living administrator job happened because of, I know, time you spent with Barbara. So why don't you
Yes.
talk through that process?
Yes, so I was an AIT with Barbara, trained with her. I formerly was an administrator up in New Jersey, so had to be relicensed down here in Virginia, which was exciting. Spent time with Damien and trained under Barbara. So I was relicensed in Virginia. And then passed my exam in 4 months, which was exciting. And then when Damien left the community, I moved right into the position, which was wonderful.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that 6 years is impressive. We appreciate that. But let's now take the residents back in time. So you're originally from
New Jersey.
New
I
Jersey.
still have that accent.
Has some accent and again has just a little personality characteristics of Jersey, so we know that, and that's part of who you are. Where is your education?
Rutgers University.
And what degrees did you accomplish?
I have an undergraduate degree in social work with a concentration in health, mental health, and aging, and as well as a master's in social work.
So, and both from Rutgers.
Absolutely.
And I think you had a little extracurricular activity at Rutgers, and what was that?
Well, I was a swimmer, but I didn't swim at Rutgers. I swam at,
Okay.
yep. I swam for their competitive team, but not at the college.
Okay, all right. So, but again, for anyone who spends devoted time training, swimming,
Yes.
I have a lot of admiration.
Yes.
All right. So, Jersey. After college, what was your career steps, your work steps?
So I worked for Presbyterian Homes and Services, which also had Life Plan Communities. I worked a short time there as the Director of Resident Services. Worked for an affordable housing building that they had opened up. Worked at their home office for a short time. So grew within that company before moving to Virginia.
Okay. So, and there sounds like you also had some responsibilities with administration, and that really gave you a nice background as you came down here to join our Life Plan Community or Continued Care Retirement Community, which we refer to it as.
Yes.
So, in total, then, yeah, giving away your age a little bit, years of service now in senior living is
27 years.
27 years.
Yes.
So, impressive career and what you're doing. Now, after all of that, and we'll come back to your objectives and what you're going to be, guiding us here. But maybe residents want to hear a little bit about just personal life. So, where do you live, and maybe a little bit about family?
Yes, I live in Williamsburg, Virginia. I live in Williamsburg. I'm so used to saying Virginia still. I have a husband, my high school sweetheart. We've been together 36 years now. Next month we'll be married 25 years. Have 3 kids.
So 25, 36. So you knew each other for 11 years as sweethearts.
Yes, I'm a
Wow.
planner. You'll learn that about me. I'm a planner. Needed to finish college, needed to finish graduate school, needed to have a house, I'm a big planner. 3 kids. Jack just graduated college. He's 22, working on what his life plan is going to be. Charlie graduated high school and just started a career in a trade. And Hannah just started her sophomore year of high school. And as I shared with you this week, she just got her learner's permit. So we are driving. My last one is driving, and I'm white knuckling it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's differences, and I can't tell you good or bad between me having 2 sons, 2 daughters, and teaching them how to drive, because they all learn at their own pace, have their own reactions. So, any first impressions of Hannah's driving?
Very cautious. The boys knew how to drive prior to getting their learner's permit. Hannah did not. So this is a very different experience. Hannah never attempted to drive prior to. So this we're starting from scratch.
Yeah.
So a lot of open parking lot driving going on.
Yeah. Very cool. So, great family, exciting time with the newness of careers, of next steps in their life, and yet still you got Hannah. You're watching her now get through her high school years.
Yeah.
So very cool.
Yeah,
Any 4-legged creatures at home?
Yes, we adopted a dog. He's a Yorkie Beagle mix, a lot of energy, and he's there to keep my mom company.
Good. Very nice. So we come back to the Chesapeake. It's a new position here, Associate Executive Director. And from a takeaway, why don't you just share some of the thoughts you have as you've entered this role, and maybe share with residents some of the early responsibilities that you'll be taking on.
So I'll be taking on the clinic, home care companion, and environmental services, and growing in that area, which will all be new areas for me to oversee, which is exciting.
Yeah. And as residents, hear those 3 areas, the clinic and the independent living nurse is a smaller program, and you probably have more familiarity with that. Home care companion, this coming year could easily be an $800,000 business. Tamika and Ashante, 2 wonderful team members, which will be there to support, and really you can just help them refine and to grow, and maybe some more education can come to all residents on companion program. So that's those 2 there. But environmental services, we use the term to describe housekeeping, laundry. Right now we're sort of at some transition. So why don't you sort of highlight to the residents, we've had some departures, we've got some steps moving forward.
Yeah, so we're going to see, we're looking for a new director and some new growth within the department to see what we can do and bringing the department up to par. So we're really excited about that in higher levels of care as well as independent living with annual cleanings and just bringing the beautification of the community up to par.
Over the last couple weeks during my neighborhood meetings with many of the residents, they heard me describe that, we're so grateful. Tiffany, 6 years of service. And what she'd done is she'd moved from manager to director of environmental services, relocated. Nice send off, bittersweet for many. You get the tear in the eye, and just you can see the relationships that she had forged with so many team members. And we had another individual who departed from the department. So Doug Totten, sort of holding down the fort right now. And we're quickly working, as you suggested, to identify a director. Even as of this interview, we got 50 external candidates. And so a lot of interest in the position. And then the other thing for residents to know is we're posting internally for a supervisor. And the supervisor will likely grow into a manager, but just want to see who internally we can grow into this role. And another opportunity.
Yeah, it's exciting.
So we want to see how that one progresses. A stable department. Many of you residents know, have that relationship with your housekeeper, and some really wonderful ladies and men who help us in that area. The project guys move the trash around. They move the furniture. Yes, Mr. Crittenden, they try to set up the room correctly and do all the things we can. And that's all part of that team. And it's really the housekeeping, housemen, et cetera.
I'm interested to learn, what they have to teach me and where they need my support.
Well, and I think that as you and I have discussed, and even as I listened to the residents during these meetings the last couple of weeks, I think just the clarity as what does that housekeeping service include? A little better definition and timeliness of that annual clean. They let me hear that loud and clear. And I think just there will always be the residents, and thank you who let me know when certain stairwells aren't cleaned, hallways aren't cleaned, whatever, and how do we make sure systems are in place that it's consistent.
And the overall needs.
So just as Andy has a number of eyes and inspectors, you'll find you've got some wonderful folks just helping us to progress. And that's all you can hope for. We always say that you can never replace a person. You can't replace a Tiffany. It's not going to be the same skill set, the same gifts or talents. What can we do to find someone who will come in and complement the team? Maybe take us to new places. Sometimes when a new director comes in, you got that initial learning curve before you can start to grow again. But things that we want you all to hear about, because it's important for you to be part of this journey with us.
Really identifying areas we can grow. Same with the clinic, really identifying areas where we can bring in possibly other doctors. That's really something we've been looking at, for hearing, vision. Who else wants to partner with us here at the Chesapeake? Since COVID, we really haven't had those partnerships with outside doctors, so that's something else I'm going to be really focusing on as well.
Well, and with you bringing that up, it's just an example of the power of this position, where myself, Barbara, even the ladies working within the clinic, we don't have the bandwidth and the capacity at times to start forging these relationships. Whereas if you can, and we got 2 exam rooms in there. There is a wonderful space. So hearing of your ideas of how do we enhance those ancillary services, if I use that term, it's just trying to say what more can we do to help independent living residents stay independent.
So and bring those services in to support them. Absolutely.
So we've got that. I know that between yourself and Tamika, there's a lot of growth on the home care companion side here, but also our sister communities are calling upon us because we are the most experienced in this area. And several of the campuses are now full speed ahead in developing home care companion. And for those of you, just to be reminded that we want you to live our mission, empowering individuals in choices and purposeful living. We want you to know that stay in your independent living safely as long as you can. Sometimes that's supplemented or supported by companions, there may be a timing that a family member may think a resident's ready to move to assisted living, but the resident's not quite yet ready. And the companion keeps them safe and keeps them well until everything's aligned, that now it is the right time for them to move to assisted living. So real important program, and I know you've done some great sessions with Chesapeake University in the past. So I look forward to more of those, where residents just really learn further about the continuum, and I could see you just almost doing a periodic series that would help all. So that's just another example of added value that you can do in your role.
Yeah, and now that we have Elizabeth, who filled my position, also adding to that value of giving the presentations on navigating the continuum of care, and she'll be there to help support residents when they do need to move throughout the continuum, or hear about services that are available through the clinic. She's there to help support as well. Yeah.
So as you think about other, just visions that you have, because with a new position where we've started with a certain level of responsibility, but a lot of potential.
Yeah.
Any other areas that you're like, can't wait to get more involved, or something else that I would love to be a part of in transforming here? Anything you'd like to reveal?
None that I can think of yet, but there's ideas brewing and every day. Right now, we're still knee deep in assisted living and the transition of the new medical records and the transitioning, and that's a real exciting time for our higher levels of care. And once I can confidently hand that over to our new administrator, it'll be wonderful to be up here and be fully engaged in the new position, and then those ideas will start flowing. Yeah.
So yes, Donna's she's towing to the line we've asked, and that is, make sure we get out of point-click care, and assisted living is running well. New Administrator Judy Cleary.
Yes.
She joined us a week or so ago, and we'll introduce her likely this week at Town Hall, and be able to let you all meet her. So that will be an important introduction. But you getting Judy in place, getting the point-click care team. I say that all the clinical team aligned with it is good.
Yeah, I think what'll be exciting is actually having that time to give my efforts to special projects that I haven't been able to do in the past.
Yeah, well, and again, just to hint to some of you, things that are on my radar of where can we partner, help our other directors. We're going to be following resident council's guidance and lead, and how do we transition Clark's Cafe? How do we transition the Wheelhouse Lounge? That's on the independent living side, but that's an example of sort of a project that needs a lot of resident involvement, listening, guiding, communication. Similarly, another project is how do we update and improve smart technology in healthcare rooms.
Yes.
A project, again, does Barbara have the perfect timing to put energy into that? And it's been eluding her and I for years, where we funded, how can we have smart rooms in healthcare? Well, maybe something else you help us with. So that's an example. And then the other one that's going to be a very important team effort is with, I think, the alignment now and really knowing the partners who will help us with the gated community and putting the guardhouse. There's going to be a lot of operational decisions, a lot of communications, helping residents. So that's going to be a big lift.
That is.
And even though we'll have strong support from home office on the construction elements, so Andy and I won't get pulled into it as we have with 4B or 4E, there's a lot of communication, operational preparedness, and how that will all come about.
Yeah.
So those are just examples of some 3 big projects that you will be helping us all along the way. Yep, good.
Yeah.
Well, I hope today's interview gave you a little bit better introduction or reintroduction to Donna Yasko, new Associate Executive Director. So congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Welcome to the position.
Thank you.
Yes, her office is up here next to mine, but you'll still see her back and forth to AL and a lot of other places as she's helping out. But again, Donna, great having you part of the team, and
Thank you.
look forward to working with you for years to come.
Thanks, David. Thank you.
Have a great day. Thank you all.